Acting Chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Hajia Amina Zakari, in a recent interview at the Commission's headquarters in Abuja, have assured Nigerians of the Commission's role as an unbiased election umpire. The acting chairman also emphasizes the neutrality of INEC staffs and appointees in carrying out their responsibilities.
INEC is an independent organization as enshrined by the Constitution, and all INEC staff are aware of that. We have all signed on to the oath of neutrality. So I think as a Nigerian, your main concern should be, when you are given a task, you should be conscientious enough to remove your personal feelings from the job. Just do the job as it is required. And I think that's all INEC staff are required to do, because we can't remove the relationships we've been born with or the acquaintances we've known before we became INEC staff. The issue is for a person to be morally straight and upright, to be able to remove himself from that relationship and be able to perform based on what the Constitution and the rules say. I have been in the commission. I'm a national commissioner. I passed through the Senate screening to become a national commissioner, and by virtue of that, I'm appointed acting chairman in the commission.
The acting chairman further provides insights into the upcoming Kogi and Bayelsa states election.
Well, timetables are set by law, and the tenures of the current governors are ending in late this year and early 2016. And the law has stipulated the period within which we can hold elections, which is 150 days, not more than 150 days and not less than 30 days to the end of tenure. So we looked at our processes and we looked at our capabilities, and we set the timetable. And we had to consult with the regs and consulted with all the departments, consulted together and came up with a date that is comfortable for us to be able to prepare appropriately. I think universal suffrage is every citizen's right. You have the right to partake in an election. And if somehow you've been missed out in the registration, you should be given a chance to re-register. And in the area of the PVC distribution, we've distributed over 81%, but there may be some people that still have not collected their PVC, so they should be given a chance to collect their PVC, because what we need to do is to increase our voter turnout. We were not very particularly happy with the voter turnout in 2015, with all the cry and hue about PVC. We distributed over 50 million PVCs, yet only about 30 million voters turned out. So we would try to sensitize the Kogi people and the Bayelsa people to come out, and those that need to register, those that just turned 18. I'm sure the numbers will not be high because we would have mopped up a lot throughout 2014. We'll still do our best to make sure nobody is disenfranchised through PVC or voter registration.
The acting chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Hajia Amina Bala Zakari, says the commission is working to improve its internal and external communications for better electoral process and to minimize incidents of speculations. The acting chairman disclosed this when the executive committee members of the INEC press corps paid a courtesy visit to the commission in Abuja.
But I assure you, throughout the 5 years we've been in the commission, the complaints have always been that the communication was faulty. We had a faulty communication with the press and other people. Even our internal and external communication, we have admitted it. And for that, we came up with a communication policy, which we began to implement in the 2015 election. And we've seen there was a lot of progress compared to what we had in 2011.
Amina Zakari emphasized the need for training of journalists and maintaining cordial relationship with the media in order to ensure that the policies and activities of the Commission were not misrepresented. The acting chairman appreciated the contribution of the press in the success achieved in the 2015 general elections and urged members of the Fourth Estate of the realm to uphold the ethics of the profession.
So I think we have to work seriously with that communication policy to improve our internal and external communications and to ensure that whatever we do is not left to speculation. We've discovered a lot of things were left to speculation, especially when you listen to TV and other, we have people that speculate a lot. And I always believe that if we give the information ahead of time, if we are the one that are pushing out the information, we should be able to have reasonable and responsible press information out there.
She pledged to continue to carry the INEC press calls along as the Commission moved towards improving the electoral system.
So I agree with you that we have to have that open and we have to do the push. We should involve you and include you in all our activities so that you don't miss out what we are doing. Because you are here for us, we have to ensure that you are part of the process. Because if you don't understand the process, you cannot defend us anywhere. You cannot put out the news in the format and manner it should be. So I believe in that having constant interaction with you and informing you about all our policies. We have nothing to hide actually. We never had anything to hide, it's just we could not communicate it. And then sometimes we had to be reactive. I don't believe we should be reactive now, we should be proactive. And that has been the thrust of our communication policy.
Earlier in his remarks, the chairman of the INEC press calls, Okechukwu Nabuchi, commended the Commission for the good working relationship existing between the press corps and INEC.
The issue really is not about welfare, but to foster a good, cordial working relationship between the Commission and the press corps. Some of us, we that cover this Commission, believe we are part of the Commission. So, like for instance, when there were security issues at the height of it, some of us too were concerned because this is a place you put in and out. So if anything happens here, you never can tell. It might be when you are there. So this is like our second home. So we try to make it better, not just for the Commission, but for the country, because we believe that if INEC gets it right, Nigeria too will get it right, and it will be for the benefit of all of us and even our children yet unborn.
Mr. Nabuchi called for improved working relationship and communication with the leadership of the Commission, stressing that it will help reduce speculations. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has pledged continued support and cooperation to political parties in promoting greater understanding and collaboration towards enhancing the efficiency of the electoral system. Acting Chairman of the Commission, Hajia Amina Bala Zakari, represented by National Commissioner Ambassador Lawrence Nwuruku, made the pledge during the presentation of certificates of return to newly elected executive of the Inter-Party Advisory Council, IPAC, at INEC headquarters in Abuja. The acting chairman urged all political parties to promote internal and transparent democracy to minimize indices of factional crises within political parties.
I wish to assure you on the Commission's continued cooperation in promoting greater understanding and collaboration with political parties towards enhancing the efficiency of our electoral system. To this end, I urge all registered political parties to promote internal and transparent democracy to minimize incidences of factional crisis within the political parties. I also urge IPAC to ensure greater coordination of political parties for more productive interaction with the Commission.
She called on IPAC to ensure greater coordination of political parties for more productive interaction with the Commission. Responding, the newly elected chairman of IPAC, Bashir Yusuf Ibrahim of the PDM, who takes over from Dr. Tanko Yunusa to steer the activities of IPAC for the next 1 year, said, the new IPAC will build on the successes achieved by the previous leadership of IPAC.
I'm extremely pleased to be the first recipient of Certificate of Return following an IPAC election since the founding of the organization. This is a novel initiative which is also consistent with best practice of elections all over the world. I received this certificate in humility and pray that other members of the executive committee of IPAC who preceded me will also be issued with their certificates of return in due course. I would like to call on my colleagues, the newly elected executive committee, to seize the opportunity provided by our election last week to serve IPAC and its members as best as they could. The new IPAC will build on the successes already recorded and achieved by the previous leadership of IPAC. We will also continue to be a partner of INEC in its ambitious electoral reform program. As this is not a moment for long speeches, I'd like to reserve that for the inauguration. I'd like to finally thank all those who participated in making this moment possible. And I'd like to specifically mention the chairman and members of the IPAC Election Committee, the Director of Election and Party Monitoring, and other officials of INEC, and my colleagues, chairmen and secretaries of political parties who reposed their confidence in us during the last election. I thank you very much.
The election, which led to the emergence of Bashir Yusuf Ibrahim as the IPAC chairman, held at the Commission's headquarters on the 24th of July 2015, in accordance with the provision of Article 3A1 of the Political Parties Code of Conduct 2013. Other newly elected members of the IPAC executive committees are Dr. Breakforth Onwubuya, Deputy Chairman, ACD, Barrister Godson Okoye, Secretary, UDP, Honorable Razak Iyiwoyi, Assistant Secretary, PPN, Ogbehi Dike, Public Secretary, UPP, Samuela Sifawa, Treasurer, APA, Umar Mustafa, Financial Secretary, KP. Acting Chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Amina Bala Zakari, has said that the achievements recorded in the 2015 general elections have not beclouded the Commission's focus, pointing out that INEC was aware that several areas in the electoral process required improvement. She made this known in her opening remarks at the workshop organized by the Commission on post-election lessons learned with accredited observer groups held in Abuja. The acting chairman, who was represented by National Commissioner Ambassador Lawrence Nwuruku, disclosed that the Commission, in a bid to improve on its 2015 outing, had subjected the election to a thorough review through series of debriefing sessions with all the monitors deployed for the elections. Review of the reports of the elections submitted by the state officers of the Commission, as well as holding a post-election retreat with all the resident electoral commissioners, regs, directors, and department heads with Commission members.
It is my pleasure to welcome you all to this all-important post-election lesson learned workshop with affiliated observer groups. Given the applause by the generality of Nigeria and the international community, they may be disbelieving that why do we, as a commission, decide to undertake this workshop. For us in the commission, the achievements recorded in the election has not declared our minds to the several areas in the electoral process that requires improvements. This workshop with the election observers is one of the several engagements and review which the Commission has embarked upon since the completion of the election. For your information, the Commission has subjected the election to a thorough review through a series of debriefing sessions with all the monitors, the officers of the Commission, as well as holding a post-election retreat with all resident electoral commissioners, reps, directors, and departmental heads to the Commission members in Calabar.
The acting chair acknowledged that observers' reports on the 2011 general elections were like guidebook for the Commission's preparation for the 2015 general elections. The INEC boss, who expressed delight at the existing cordial relationship with domestic and foreign observers, urged the participants at the workshop to brainstorm, share experiences on the lessons learned with pre- and post-election activities in order to improve the quality of the electoral process.
Since 2011 general election, INEC has enjoyed very cordial relations with the domestic and foreign observers group. This has been partly shaped by three major factors. Firstly, the Commission usually establishes a transparent procedure for selecting observer groups, calls for application and the selection criteria which were always published on national dailies and the National Commission website. Secondly, the development of a comprehensive guidelines for election observation based on the global norms and standards. Through its guideline on election observation, INEC seeks to frame three essential normative principles, namely rights, responsibilities, and conduct of observers. Rights generally signifies the entire